It was one of the most expensive movies ever made, and it was set to have this wonderful royal premiere. And in fact, not only that, another royal association. But things turned, well, shall we say, dramatically different way back when in the early 1960s over at Pinewood Studios, where the beautiful Elizabeth Taylor, alongside, of course, the equally, well, stunning and brilliant actor Richard Burton, were making this epic movie. And then the weather changed. As ever, let me explain. Morning, good to see you, chums. Thank you so much for your time. I'm not so bad, thank you. Nice to have your company. Welcome, one and all. Have you ever seen Cleopatra? It's a long film, isn't it? Oh, goodness, yes. And I was lucky enough to interview quite a number of people associated with Cleopatra, including this beautiful lady, Annette Andre, who was an extra. She said she couldn't believe her luck. She's suddenly on the set with Elizabeth Taylor, who she pointed out just liked to drink lager from a can. Yeah, I mean, you just can't imagine. And she said all done up as Cleopatra. Incredible stuff, Annette, a lovely woman, fabulous career, just literally worked and met everybody. And as she pointed out, there was so much money wasted on that movie. Now, if you remember, originally when they started the movie, it started filming at Pinewood Studios in Iver, Buckinghamshire. And this was a big thing, right? Incredible thing. And the idea really to kickstart it all off was to get a visit from the Duke of Edinburgh, who was going to, look around the sets and meet Elizabeth and all that sort of stuff, And the idea really was, let's just get some sort of royal approval. The idea also moving forward was to have a mega royal premiere. But the sort of makings of the movie became, shall we say, convoluted, difficult, demanding, divas, all of that sort of stuff. It's well known exactly what happened to Elizabeth Taylor. She fell ill, life or death moment. Even the Queen's doctor was on call for her, absolutely sent by Queen Elizabeth herself. She was a huge Elizabeth Taylor fan. And, it was a massive drama. Fox Pictures, 20th Century Fox, thought this is great, it's publicity, it's going to do well. But then the moment that Elizabeth Taylor got well, it was decided in this wet and windy, area of London, this wouldn't be good for her recuperation. So they had to move everything to Rome. However, very quickly, the producers and directors and backers decided to exploit the set of that particular movie. And that's how Carry On Cleo was born, a very successful comedy literally the year later. But behind the scenes, I was talking to many people who worked on the Carry-Ons, including the former directors and bosses, Gerald Thomas, who told me that Fox literally tried to sue them because, get this, even though they'd abandoned all of the sets and everything like that, and there were magnificent sets, as he said, Fox just up and left. They said, that's it, we can't film here. They didn't say what they were going to do with them. Rank Studios, Pinewood didn't know what they were supposed to do with them. So as I say, very quickly, they assembled a team to make Carry On Cleo. A fabulously funny film, let me tell you. And the main lead, Amanda Barry, thankfully still with us and has her autobiography out next month. A fabulous read, let me tell you. But here's where it gets interesting, as I say, because as that movie came out, not only did they try and ban it, then they decided that, they couldn't have a royal premiere for a Carry On film because it was a little bit too near the knuckles, saucy seaside humour, the sort of thing. And on top of all of that, the producers of Carry On Cleo were facing a multi-million-pound lawsuit for taking the sets to make the film, which came out ahead of Cleopatra and was very, very successful. I mean, just made a lot of money. In the end, Fox just gave in simply because they were running out of cash, all thanks to the fact that Elizabeth Taylor was burning through it. And she was, of course, the very first £1 million movie star signing of anywhere. She was the first actress to pick up that money at that particular time. A lot of money when you think. But what happened? They didn't even get the royal premiere. And not only that, they decided that because it was now becoming something of a mess, they'd have to see how it all panned out. Elizabeth Taylor wasn't keen on doing it. She wasn't keen on the Revlon connection. It's a fabulous backstory. But either way, the royals didn't have a Carry On. Elizabeth Taylor didn't get the royal premiere that she wanted. And the other side of the coin, Fox left behind a set that made sure a British iconic film still remains as funny today as the day it was released. Now, you didn't know that, did you? New Sean in the very heart of London.